Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Who does this? Tactical Man. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. There's going to be a link down there. I appreciate you guys' support. I definitely appreciate Tactical Man's videos. They are fantastic. I thought about this the other day. I was, doing my thing, and I was thinking about guns, right? Because I like guns. And I was thinking about it, and I thought about the fact that a lot of people make these comments, and I know that I had spoke about this in the past. Literally, I know. Let me make sure the scale. Yeah, that's not there. I know people have talked about this in the past, and it's the simple fact that people say, "Well, I want to buy a Glock because if you buy a Glock, you don't have to clean it." And I think it's a wrong mentality. Definitely the wrong mentality to have with the Glock, the wrong mentality to have with a revolver. And I know for a fact that there is a lot of new guys here in the channel. I kind of want to address that. I want to give you a tip, and definitely let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Before I get into the video, check it out. If you want to become a patron, to all my patrons, you guys are amazing. Man, I'm blessed to have you guys as, supporters of the channel. Again, I appreciate your support, and you guys are fantastic. Definitely subscribe for more videos and share the videos. Share the videos. I definitely appreciate when you guys share the video. So let's hit the intro and let's get started. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Let me bring my face back here, and my phone is ringing. Everything is ringing, and let's talk about this. So I want to tell you a quick story, and the story is simple. When I went to combat, I had a little brush that I put in my vest, and it was like right here someplace. I have my little brush, and I used to get it out and do one of this all the time. I'll be like watching this and watching that. And again, it wasn't a lot of COP or anything like that. I wasn't put a lot of lubrication because you guys know lubrication. I mean, obviously you want to have your guns lube, but the thing about it is that in the desert, the sand and all that, it's just annoying. It goes everywhere. But I remember having my little brush and always cleaning my gun. I mean, it wasn't crazy about it. Let's not just get crazy about this, but it was enough to always clean my gun. And I remember every single mission we expected our firearms, and in fact that was not only our firearms, it was everything. We inspected our gear, we inspected our vest, we inspected our truck, we made sure the trucks had oils, we made sure the truck had every single thing that you're supposed to, like fuel. We inspected that the gear was inside the truck the proper way, in case of an attack. At nighttime, we could grab the stuff, because again, you're not going to have the ability to do little things like maybe having a fancy, this is not a fancy flashlight, but back in my days, we didn't have all this cool gear that new Marines have nowadays. You guys are blessed. We had like crappy stuff, and I'm sure if I talk to some of you old Marines out there, you guys would tell me that I was blessed because you guys have really, really crappy stuff. But again, we had to make sure everything was good to go, and including the weapons. The weapons was a big thing. We had to check our weapons, make sure the weapons were clean. And here's the thing: when you depend your life on your firearm or your gear, you won't do the silly stuff that you see nowadays here in the community. A lot of the stuff is silly, guys. Keep that in mind. A lot of these guys giving you tips and advice are just silly. They've never been through any combat operation. They've never been into any, or fight, and they're just repeating what somebody else said, right? They learn from a guy that learned that you're supposed to do this, right? And again, it's not necessarily bad information, but I'm just telling you how it is, and I'm telling you what I have experienced in my life, and what I have experienced in my life after doing, many, 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 many missions, is that if your life depends on your gear, you will take care of your gear. I mean, you don't have any other choices. If you don't take care of these guns, you won't make it. You won't survive. It won't be something that you're going to be able to, depend your life on. So again, there are a lot of guys. I put a revolver here because obviously revolvers tend to be really accurate and they tend to work all the time. But revolvers could give you issues as well. And again, if you depend your life on a gun, this is the comment that I sing a lot. A lot of people go like, or a Glock specifically, a lot of people say, I want to buy a Glock because when you buy a Glock, you don't need to clean them. And again, AKs, the same thing. And in fact, a lot of you guys have the joke AKs versus ARs, and it's always like, well, your AR is gonna, it's gonna jam. My AK doesn't, and my AK is gonna be great because my AKs are indestructible. And again, there may be some truth to that. AKs are really good and all that stuff. But again, it is the wrong mentality to have. You need to do not only clean the gun, but you also need to have an inspection that you do, right? You want to make sure that you inspect your gun. And a lot of times it's going to be just, simple. You're just going to make sure that it works. You're going to look it over. You're going to make sure that everything is we're supposed to do, that the whole thing is just working. Like in this gun, obviously, it racks. I don't see any damage to the gun. I took the gun apart. I looked inside in the springs, all that. Everything looks just fantastic. And again, you pull the trigger resets. So everything looks to me like it's working fine, right? So again, the weapon may be clean, the weapon may be lubricated, and the weapon is ready to go. The point to this is like, don't get in that mentality. Don't get in the mentality that, you know what, I have a gun, I don't have to worry about it. Glocks will never jam. Glocks will never, nothing will happen to them. Glocks will always be reliable. Glocks will always do all this stuff. This is silly. This is silly stuff. Don't get into that silly stuff. Get in the mentality that you want to inspect your equipment. Get in the mentality that you want to do a pre-check, right? We used to call it in combat pre-combat inspection. Pre-combat checks. That's what we used to call it, PCIs, PCCs. And again, get in that type of mentality because you never know. Again, I'm not saying that you need to do this all the time, all right? Don't get creepy about it. Don't get crazy about it. You don't have to do this every other day, right? There's no reason to be like doing ninja stuff, right? We ain't talking about ninja stuff. We're talking about regular stuff. I'm saying that every now and then, whenever you're going to inspect your gun, whenever you're going to inspect that everything is good to go, grab your firearm, your home defense gun, and be like, all right, this one in particular, is my battery good to go? I see my my dot right there. I see it. I know my batteries are good. I don't want to face the enemy. I don't want to face a criminal. I don't want to face a bad guy and be like, wow, my sights is not working. That's not the moment, right? That's game time. That's time to do your job, right? So again, my optic has a battery. It's doing good. My sights are in place. Nothing weird's going on. My weapon is, semi-clean or whatever, clean enough, and it's lubricated. And not only that, my magazine is good to go, right? I can see my magazine and I can inspect that. The same thing comes to your belt, the same thing comes to your holster, and the same thing comes to every other piece of equipment that you have out there. That's how I roll. You may roll a different way. Definitely let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I want to hear your opinions. Again, share it down in the comment section below. I appreciate your support. And as always, God is in control.